Did you know the US dedicates 415.7 million acres to grazing livestock? That's enough land to fill over 300,000 New York Central parks. Raising livestock on pastures is a massive industry, and each animal has its own unique story. For example, horses are vital to sports and even niche food markets. Texts are another essential part of American culture, especially during Thanksgiving. Every year, 46 million turkeys are consumed on this holiday alone, enough to fill 900 football fields. Quail, although small, are productivity powerhouses. Each bird lays up to 312 eggs a year, and farms need just half an acre to house 5,462 quail. So how do farms manage these agricultural giants? Let's dive in and explore. From the sprawling pastures of America, we begin with the iconic animal of Western agriculture and culture, the horse. Additionally, horses are frequently checked for hoof-related diseases. According to a 2020 study from Texas A&M University, they reduced the efficiency of over 18% of working horses nationwide. In Texas, horses are the cowboy's best friend when doing cattle work. One of the most fascinating US traditions still kept alive today is cattle branding for identification and deterring thieves on horseback. There's also another Texas tradition worth mentioning, which is cattle herding by horses. What's interesting about this is that in addition to horses, cowboys on large ranches also often use helicopters to assist in rounding up cattle across large or travel over 20 miles daily while herding livestock. For racehorses, 1 to 2 hours of daily conditioning focuses on reaching speeds of 35 to 40 miles per hour and building stamina to sustain peak performance for up to 1.5 miles during a race. Just like athletes, these horses are given extra care because each can reach up to $2 million in value. A working horse on the pasture might consume over 15 pounds of grass daily. Interestingly, a professional racehorse eats less, around 12 pounds, but follows a carefully planned diet with muscle-boosting supplements for optimal performance. Grooms work together to braid the horses' manes and polish their coats until they gleam, ensuring that they look majestic under the spotlight. Kentucky, the horse racing capital of America, hosts over 60 major races annually, attracting more than 156,000 visitors and generating nearly $8.8 billion in revenue. Meanwhile, farmers raising horses for breeding closely monitor reproductive cycles, as the average horse produces 1 foal a year. Postnatal care includes ensuring the foal nurses within 2 hours of birth and monitoring its weight gain, which typically reaches 100 pounds within the first month. By the horse. We are now visiting the goats in Texas. Currently, the US raises around 2.5 million goats, with the largest concentration located in Texas, home to over 800,000 goats, enough to form a herd stretching from Houston to Austin. Texas not only leads in goat population, but is also the top goat meat exporter in the country. Every day, farmers dedicate significant time to caring for their herds, including feeding, health checks, and rotating pastures with the help of guardian dogs. The average goat consumes around 4 to 6 pounds of feed daily, and a herd of 150 goats can clear 10 acres of weeds in just 4 weeks, gaining popularity in the US, particularly amongst African American, Middle Eastern, and Caribbean communities. Every year, Americans consume around 63 million pounds of goat meat, enough to fill over 500 semi-trucks. At the processing facility, goats are humanely slaughtered, adhering to USDA and halal standards when required. The carcasses are then cleaned and chilled to prevent bacterial growth. Each goat is hung in a chilled environment for 12 to 24 hours, ensuring the meat remains tender. Butchering follows, where skilled workers or robots cut the meat into various products such as legs, ribs, and ground goats to meet market demand. 842 pounds of milk annually, enough to make over 500 pounds of cheese. Vermont is known as the goat cheese capital of America. It produces more than 35% of the country's organic goat cheese. Many farmers here join cooperatives to export their products to markets like Canada and Europe. Leaving behind the efficient goat farms, we now turn to turkeys, the icon of Thanksgiving and a cornerstone of the US poultry meat industry. Every year, the US raises around 224 million turkeys, accounting for over 41% of the global turkey production. Minnesota leads the country with more than 40 million turkeys, or grazing areas. Each acre can support around 250 turkeys. They are rotated between pastures periodically to maintain grass quality and minimize disease risks. On average, a turkey consumes around 35 pounds of feed during its lifetime, primarily composed of grains and soybeans. Organic farms adhere to stricter standards, avoiding antibiotics and using organic feed, which significantly increases the turkey's market value. One unique feature of the US turkey industry is the surge in market demand during Thanksgiving. This is celebrated on the 4th Thursday of November. In the week leading up to the holiday, over 46.3 million turkeys are consumed, enough to fill Yankee Stadium 100 times, making them a popular choice globally. The US currently raises around 18 million quail, primarily concentrated in states like Georgia and California. Young quail are raised in enclosed barns, where the temperature is kept at 100 degrees Fahrenheit during the first week. This warmth is critical, as their small size makes them vulnerable to cold. Hence, farmers check the barn temperature and humidity at least 4 times a day to maintain optimal conditions. Once grown, quail are kept in large spaces or multi-tier cages to maximize space efficiency. An acre of land can house up to 5,460